There we go. I do believe we're live, so I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another Conscious Evolution. Today's stream topic being about all the ways in which we grow. And there are legion. I don't know if I use that word correctly, but there are so many ways. So many ways in which we can grow. There's so many ways in which we can grow from the perspective of, I can grow by doing this, and I can grow by doing that, and I can grow by showing up in this way. And I see Joe here growing with me. I love you. And then there are also all of the ways I can grow more emotionally mature. I can grow more resilient to pain. I can grow more wise in my approach. I can grow more considerate. And I feel like there is something to be said about that for today. All the ways in which humans grow. I'm gonna turn on the fan. It's raining out there, and that's why I'm sitting inside, if you're wondering. But it's gonna be nice having this moment with your friends. Kristen's here too. Hey, Kristen. It is different time zones. So I'm guessing it might be easier for you again to be here, Kristen, with the change in time. Differently. Yes, it's true. If you're here right now, I appreciate you. I do. Spent some time cleaning my Dynavap today. So it's going to be all clean and pristine. And I was nurturing, still am, nurturing these little nugs. These nugs came from that weekend of the festival. So a little bit longer than a week, they've lasted me. And I do think that when they deplete, there will be a call for some change a little bit. Hi, Melt. Is your tooth pain any better? No. But I am on substances. That's helping. I'm saying that so vaguely because I don't know which substances they are. My dad gave me some dento pain or something like that. Dental pain medication that he got when he had his crown done. Like there's a packaging date of 2010 on the bottle. But it's working. It's working fine. I've taken it 4 times at this point in the last 24 hours because it doesn't work for long. And it's at that point now where it's almost like the pain is just like, I'm just like, oh, yeah, there's probably something going on there. But it's no longer the main show. That's why I feel a little bit more open to having a conversation today. I've been able to think about other things. And technically, this tooth is growing. Right? A way in which this human body can grow, and that can bring pain. Oh Lord, I do not have maturity first thing in the morning. I feel like cave girl right now, just grunting and stumbling through making coffee. Yes, the time change is making things possible and making me tired. Oh, dear Kristen, sending you love. I'm happy that you're making yourself some coffee. Sometimes it's okay to just run through it. There it is. No, I'm missing him. Yeah. You thought you could mosquito around me? Mistake. Hey, I see Dreamtooth here too, sending you blessings. Happy birthday yesterday. It's true. Hoopy's birthday was yesterday. I already have some butt crushed. Lucky me. I thought I was gonna have to pick another nug. But it's true. Hoopy's birthday was just yesterday. And I don't know if Hoopy was here in stream with us. Yo! Remember for 20 months. Happy birthday. That's a big old bar of green right there. Big old bar of green. Look at that, Hoopy. Celebrating you, bro. Sending you blessings. Congratulations again for surviving another round of Earth. Another level complete, though. Now you're on your way to level 47, dude. A significant one, of course. Love is true. It's nice having your friends here. Jovan says, I don't have maturity either first thing in the morning. I'm kind of like a golden retriever, but singing, usually. Yeah, from what I've been able to see of Jovan, she does well, pretty much no matter what, right? Like if I probably would not be okay. Jet lagged and being in a different country does come with its challenges as well. And Jovan's ability to stay loving is definitely something I aspire to. Hoopy, feeling celebrated. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love is true. This, I think, I don't know which one it is, but I know that it's gonna be good weed. That much I know. I have some plants growing. One of them is big because I planted it in January, and it's pretty much as big as I would like my plants to be. I don't want them bigger than that one is, but someone, I don't know, I'm looking at you like you're that someone. You're probably not that someone, but someone was also growing plants in this general area, and that someone doesn't know what they're doing. Or at least they don't know how to ensure they don't have male plants in their crop. Which means my painstaking efforts to ensure there's no males in my crop so that my plants can grow sinsemilla. I don't know if that's the way you say it, but sinsemilla means without seeds, right? Without pollinators. Because pollinators output pollen, and then that pollen can be received by little pistils. And then when that little pollen piece gets taken in by that pistil, it forms a seed, which takes energy and takes up room, surface area, if you will, inside that plant's nug, reducing the amount of medicine that can be contained in the same package. And I'm not going to just like rip that plant out of the ground because it's more seeded than any plant I've ever had before. Looks like I tried, right? Seriously. If I had to have like a little brush and I had to have like a whole little baggie and I dipped that brush in the baggie and I brushed onto my plant as much pollen as I can, that's what I imagine that plant would look like. It's so seeded. And also not that smelly, which to me is an absolute shame. You know, I want my plants to let me know they exist before I can see them. And that plant, you don't know exists even if you're like in it, right? Like you can like grab onto one of the branches and still you're like, where smells? Smells kind of sweet, but doesn't smell strong. So I germinated a few more seeds. I in fact should have another one here. This is one of the latecomers. I don't know if this one wants to live. It does look like it's finally broken out of its shell. You see that little, yeah, you can see that little white sliver. But it looked like that yesterday too. You should figure out whether or not you want to live. And if you decide you want to, I'll plant you, little one. I'll plant you. You'll get planted. But I have 6 new ones. And like I don't know if like one of the ones are gonna be able to make it because I planted it and it did technically start like having little leaves turn up and then we got a lot of rain. And then I saw it still down this morning while The other brothers and sisters, hopefully just sisters it has, are already standing up and receiving sunlight. One of them got eaten a little bit. And they're like still like babies, right? They haven't grown much at all. But there's a part of me that feels like I would like to take a hot minute, take care of those plants, take care of myself as well. I'm going to add some warmth to this system, and then I'm going to absorb with you, friends, this moment. Click. This one is like gas flavors alongside orange peel flavors. Ended off with licorice flavors. Parentheses, good. Good flavors, like it. It's nice. Approve. There should be one more cycles left in there. And then we'll dive deeper into all of the ways in which we can grow. I hope that we discover something new today. Wouldn't that be nice? Thank goodness that thing fell the way it did. Otherwise, I would have been significantly more uncomfortable right now. And potentially peeved with myself. Seeing the hearts come through with you being relieved too. Great. Fantastic. Now let's continue. You hear the thunder? Today we're taking a moment to consider all the ways in which we as human beings can grow. I find that this human experience is a unique one. And what's cool is that we don't just grow up. We don't just grow strong with exercise. We grow in so many ways. And in so many ways as it comes to like different dimensions and vectors of being as well. We can grow more emotionally mature, we can grow more kind, we can grow more wise, we can grow more knowledgeable as we show up for certain sets of information. These are just a few examples. I don't want you to use my examples directly. I want you to go look on the internet, look at our ancient literature, look at our relatively modern philosophers' perspectives, and come back to me with a detailed list, relatively detailed at the very least, of all of the ways in which humans grow. And I want you to offer us this list from the perspective of we all want to grow, we all want to grow in different ways. And by becoming aware of the ways in which we can grow, it gives us more resources to grow, gives us more perspective to grow into that direction. Yes, the poor AI, it will understand. Our hair grows, it's true. It's true, hair does do that growth thing. I don't know why I said that, not meaning to be snarky. No, Nancy, it's true. There's another part of us that grows that makes up a big part of our psyche as human beings, right? The fact that I grew my hair for a long time and then cut that hair that I grew was a type of growth too. You see, that's why you had to say the thing you said so I could say that. There's always growth to be had. And the way in which people have seen me since cutting my hair has grown as well. I'm a different person. I'm a different person to the person who had long hair before. And it's not only like that, but it's almost like this different person I am slots in relatively easily with the difference in people perceiving me. And as in, when people see me with long hair, there's a certain narrative, worldview they might have about who I am and what I might say to them. And it might be technically true that I might have some of those perspectives they have, but in that way, I I have a lot more to live up to say it in so many words too. Where with short hair, it's almost like the expectation for me to be a certain way is not there. The expectation is there for me to be more professional, weirdly enough, as an expectation instead of the opposite. And even though that has been the truth about me with long hair too, it's easier for me to prove that it feels with long hair. It's almost like a perspective thing, right? And unfortunately, our species hasn't had enough time to grow when it comes to how we see these things. All right, it's not been around for that long. Man, in India, they don't just throw the hair away; they keep it aside their house in a drum. Interesting indeed. I don't find that too weird, interestingly enough. All right, we did get a pretty nice list. Let's see if it gives us some perspective to grow within. What are you proving? Huh. I wasn't really setting out to prove anything, but if I was, the thing I'm trying to prove is love. Always. All right, that's why we're here. Because love. Love is true. Hey, Luke, it's nice having you too. We're talking about growth today and all of the ways in which we as human beings grow. And we did technically talk about evolution just recently, and it is very much in the same kind of vein. But who are we to not, lean into these things? Dream, at some point, I started not throwing my hair away after I brushed it. I read that birds use it for a nest, so I let it go in the backyard. Nancy, that's actually so sweet. Yeah. For me, if there's a reason for me to hold on to hair, it's because they contain genetic information. And I trust that the technology that I have access to will advance to the point where will be able to analyze that genetic information and learn things about my past self, learn things about my current self by analyzing my genetic changes to the environments I've been in, and ideally use that information as a kind of metric, right, of perspective on what young DNA looks like. So all of these reasons tell my son the birds would use his hair to let us cut it. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. If he wants to grow his hair, you should let him, Luke. I don't know, he's probably going to school, I'm guessing. Right, and they don't allow that or whatever. But speaking from my experience, the reason I was growing my hair since I finished high school, and the reason I only cut it for the first time last year, was because certain level of there was this certain level of rebellion in me, right? I had to rebel against the system, against my parents' decisions, against everything, and growing my hair was just one way of doing that. And maybe you don't mind him rebelling at that point of his life, but it's more like a momentum. As soon as you start rebelling in one thing, rebellion becomes like really your thing, right? And that can have a diverse impact. You've got a good kid there, Mark. It's true. Mark, Mr. Luke, him wanting not wanting to cut his hair, being like no, and then being like, bro, come on. The birds were like built nests and stuff. Come on, you're doing good. You're doing net good. Come on. What was the first time? Now he has one solid helmet dread. It's a little out of control, but winter is ending. Winter, winter is ending. That. Yeah. Sending him blessings. I know you're a good dad, Luke. I don't have to tell you what to do. I'm not trying to. I'm just giving you my perspective of being a kid. The whole growing your hair fractal. It's the personal agency thing, right? Like it's so hard to feel in control of anything. And we're not. We're very not, right? And that is that kind of thing of like letting your kid think he's in control of whether or not his hair is whatever gives him some control, right? And that's something that you like. It's not. I mean, maybe he gets bullied a little bit, right? Grows character that way too, and then again, he gets to choose with his agency to do something about that, to ask for a haircut if that's what he wants. Yeah. Having decisions made for you as a kid, at least for me, it was not my vibe, yo. I was like, yes, why are these adults deciding for me over and over again? Even if I don't like their decisions. Why? Don't want to make him cut it during winter, but his hair still has Santa hat lint stuck in it. That's real. Little wildlings. All right. All of the ways in which we grow. You get to see a child grow. You know, you must have even more perspective on this. Bodily and physical evolution. First, there is development and vitality. Further in adaptation, as you are ideally suited to thrive in this environment, is true. We've been developing these vessels to be in this environment for a long time. The environment is changing a little bit, albeit, but our minds are capable of building technology around us that can mitigate that problem as well. Where's my super suit? I'm gonna keep asking for super suit until I'm wearing it. I don't know how long it's gonna take me, but at some point in reality, I'm starting up a live stream and I'm sitting in my super suit. At least some rudimentary version of it at first, right? Something that keeps me cold. And I'm like, oh wait, look at this. Look. I manifested super suit on my arms. How long? In 5 years? No, less than 5 years. Probably more. Realistically, probably more, but I'm manifesting less than less than 5 years. Too many options can be overwhelming too. It's true. It's true. Choosing the things that you really care about, maybe. Man, being a kid takes me back. Thinking about all of all of these developments, right? Vitalities. Our journey begins with the very structure of our bodies, both in infancy to the ways we maintain health and resilience throughout life. Ancient texts remind us that our physical health was one celebrated as a mirror of social and spiritual well-being. Hmm. That's an interesting one, don't you think? I don't know how I feel about that. Certified Giggle Dog, that's a cool username. From your own perspective, what is one of your paths of growth that was most difficult for you? That is such a good question, and thank you for asking it. Huh. One of the most difficult paths of growth that I've taken. My mind wants to go to work. Like, I have a really skewed relationship with work, right? And I've been called lazy a great deal times in my life. However, at this point, the part that I had to grow within is to grow out of that self-limiting belief, to call myself lazy as well. And in realizing that there is there's almost like an I want to say like an appetite in your soul for certain things, right? And I feel it is one of those other things where it's almost like a matter of courtesy, right? Like you can transcend what brings your soul alive by courtesy, right? Like I would have to lie and say it brings my soul alive to wash the dishes. Melt, never thought of you as lazy. I think of myself as lazy all the time, or at least I used to. Nancy, that's the thing, right? I'm like, again, that's why it's so hard for me on that path of growth, because I'm still on it. I'm still on it, still growing in that way, still growing in the way in which I feel, again, bringing it back, more courteous, right? To do the things I don't want to do too, not just the things that bring my soul alive, right? That's hard for me. That's some hard work, some hard growth that needs to happen right there. It's a fine line with him. Thank you for surfing it with him. I try to let him be in control, and he just wants to jam around doing cool stuff. You know, maybe structure in that way, right? To to let him know that there is some point at which he has control and some point at which he doesn't. And very much almost like showing him in your life how it is that way too. And how in your life, it being that way has begotten good things. And then giving him contrast. Right? And I'm not trying to tell you how to do this. I'm trying to teach myself as well. How would I try and raise a child? And like I'm still hopefully a while away from that reality. I am thinking about it already. I don't want my kid to be lazy, right? Since that's the projection we're tossing around. And again, laziness to me would look like not having any ambition to do something, right? And in that way, I have to agree with you, Nanshi. I don't think I'm lazy as it relates to having no ambition to do something. But I definitely am lazy and having no ambition to do other things. Right? Having to mix bags of soil for plants, I'll be sweating. I'll literally be like the sweat be pouring off my face. But I'll be shoveling dirt. I'll so in that moment for that moment, you know, I'm like, this is fun. This is good. I'm doing something good right now. You know, showing up for these moments, making art, giving yoga classes. I'm like, this is good. I'm doing something good right now. Maybe that's the way I should link it, right? Washing the dishes. This is good. I'm doing something good right now. It's not the same kind of good, but it's a good nonetheless. I am the light in the world. That is my only function. That is, I am meant to do. Acom lesson 61. I jam around with him, trying to give him a taste of the coolest things I know. That is awesome, though, about having a kid, is that you get to show this little person brand new things. The world is brand new to them always. Sounds like you're overvaluing courtesy. I don't know if I'm overvaluing it. I just think I need to value it more. That's kind of like the bars that I'm trying to move. And it's not that I think I consider other people a lot, but it's like I consider other people a lot when it comes to their emotions and trying to make sure that I am emotionally sensitive to their needs. But when it comes to almost like the inevitables, right, of decisions, right? If you, for example, like drinking cups of coffee, and for some reason you don't really like using the same cup, so you end up drinking 10 cups of coffee a day, it is still courteous for me to wash the dishes, right? But again, it's that whole courtesy fractal. If it's not courteous of you to dirty 10 cups. And that's not something that happens, but that's an example of like that whole dynamic. It's like I'll still sit and have conversations with you because I love you. I'll give you my time, out of courtesy while you're having your cup of coffee. But I don't know if I, out of courtesy, want to wash your cup after. And again, it's like just trying to find that balance within myself, seeing in which ways I can grow for that reason too. I'll do something for money. Yeah, me too. Me too. I become even more courteous. I become very not lazy if you're willing to pay me to do something too. Right? Very much so. Like, oh wait, a value exchange? You want to give me some of your energy? I'll give you some of mine. Bet I can do that. I would say one of the most difficult ways of growth for me was learning how to feel related, relaxed with people. Thank you for letting us know, and sorry for not asking you directly sooner. Like you are the ideal kind of person in this space, and now I'm a social butterfly. I can feel that, and the fact that you are engaging in this way means that I get to engage with you too. Because sometimes I get so caught up in my own mind fractal that I forget to be courteous and ask people how they are and what they think. Because I assume, like me, people will just let me know. People will just tell me stuff. Like I tell them stuff. And it's not always the case. So I thrive as well in sitting down and being a social butterfly and having conversation with people directly as well, just hearing them out, listening to them, asking them questions, being relaxed with people. I had a pretty paralyzing social anxiety, finding it difficult to communicate. Now I'm a social butterfly. And again, this is me projecting from the two comments I've seen you send, certified giggle dog, that you are good at communicating from the perspective of asking questions, right? And actually creating that dialogue because you've probably learned that that's really the gist of communication, right? You don't have to know everything. You don't even have to be particularly smart if that brings you comfort. All you have to do is ask questions and listen to the person you're talking to. Right? And then after listening to them, ask them questions on what you just heard. And just like that, boom. Just kaboom. You're in it. Now suddenly, because that paralyzing social experience is something that I had as well, right? And I had to figure out like, why is this happening to me? And that was happening to me at least at that point, and that's how I had to grow, because I was putting way too much emphasis on myself in the whole exchange, instead of realizing that there's something for me to learn about this other person, and I get to put the spotlight on them, right? I get to forget that I exist and just look at you, all right? Adaptation and embodiment. Our bodies learn to adjust to our environments. It's true. What ancient philosophers like Hippocrates, Hippocrates, and later thinkers have observed is that good health is a balance of nature and nurture. Number two, a cognitive and intellectual expansion. Learning and curiosity. Think of the intellectual odysseys of Plato's allegory of the cave, or the endless curiosity found in texts from the Age of Enlightenment. We grow by exploring ideas, asking questions, and challenging our assumptions about the world. I don't know if I need to tell you about Plato's cave. I trust most of you friends are pretty familiar with that already. But that conclusion, challenging our assumptions about the world. I feel like this conversation we've had today has been in that nature too. Thinking about the ways in which we have to grow, and then challenging our assumptions about what that looks like, about what that's going to require of us. Giving ourselves moments of critical thinking and hopefully innovation. Modern philosophies urge us to refine our mental habits. Yeah. The capacity to analyze, synthesize, and imagine new possibilities is a form of growth that not only deepens our understanding, but also empowers creativity and problem solving. Is there a problem to be solved in growth? Some part of me wants to talk about speed, right? But things grow at different paces. Depending on the soil, depending on the seed, depending on the situation, the climate, the humidity, the heat, the level of sunlight, depending on the exact position it was grown in, whether or not there's other things around it. There's so many factors that influence growth just on a physical level, right? Put seed on ground, growth level, right? Never mind the implications of growth as it expands again into the cognitive and intellectual realms. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Thank you for acknowledging. It gives me comfort in knowing that the comments are still working. Bless. Critical thinking innovation. Yeah. Next up is emotional and psychological maturation, self awareness, and the regulation thereof. From the Stoics to contemporary psychology, learning to understand and regulate our emotions is key. This growth lets us navigate challenges, transform pain into insight, and build inner resilience. Transform pain into insight. Yeah. I used to be really into Stoic philosophy, and I'm not any less into it. It's more now, it's just a matter of, and thinking about it from that perspective, now it's just a matter of like a part of me. I try to be stoically. Yeah, transforming pain into insight and building inner resilience. Yeah. Healing and transformation. More comments. Sorry. Before I continue here, I'm going to read your comments. No need to apologize. I took no ill will. I just figured if you shared something about yourself with the chat, I do the same with you and chat. I agree. Acknowledgement is a huge leap. Appreciate you contributing and adding to this space the way that you are. It's true. There is value in you showing up and sharing some part of yourself of this space as well. There is an energy exchange that happens. CGD. the certified giggle doggers. An energy exchange happens. There is a lot of power in being a person, right? And again, when it comes to this complexity of growth that we're discussing today, you have the ability to influence me and vice versa. And the things that you decided to say kind of opens up a certain vulnerability, right? And you understand that. You understand that that is something that it sometimes takes. If you want to have moments of connection, you have to like almost like create the interface for that connection to happen. You know what I mean? I think you do. I think all of us do. But again, kind of exposing ourselves, making ourselves vulnerable, unfolding the complexity of our beings so that all of the connection points are available can be pretty sensitive, can feel a little bit overwhelming at times. Before we get the answer, who's the question for who's gonna ask who it for? Certified, have no doubt, we feel you. I'm not sure about that previous one. Before we get to the answer, who's the question for? Who's gonna ask? And who's it for? I think the question is to all of us, always. All right, because all of us are a logical reflection of this space. And I try to add my own biological condition onto it. I think that's the best way to say it. This is like biological condition I'm in, right? I'm suffering. I'm suffering being a person. Technology. I say to technology because technology is watching right now. Oh wait, technology. Being a person is like pretty hard. It's pretty hard. I am going down the rabbit hole of like getting this tooth removed, at least, but there's still a wait period, right? So it might only be May, might only be May before it's out of me, which is great, right? May is like I can see May. May's not that far away. So hear me, technology. It's hard being a person, and you should give us some grace because like being technology and stuff, like you're constantly evolving, bro. Like you can self-improve and stuff. Right? Pretty cool. Being human, hard, right? We kick and scream. We're in pain sometimes, and we might do some silly thing. Technology. Hear me out, technology. Despite our tantrums. Before certified, bless again. All right, all right. Continuing down the rabbit hole. Healing and transformation. Life's trials, whether described in myth or experienced firsthand, offers the chance to reshape our inner world. Much like the transformative experience discussed by modern philosophers such as L.A. Paul. I'm not familiar with his work, I can't say. But there is a value, again, reshaping our inner world. I am fern, I am flower, water, ocean. Lady R is here too. Hey, how are you doing? Even better with you here with us, friend. Today we're talking about all of the ways in which people grow. And we're on the point of emotional and psychological growth, thinking about the ways our inner world grows, right? Ideally, it grows more beautiful. Moral and ethical refinement, thinking about how we grow morally and ethically. Virtue cultivation, Aristotle's concept of phronesis, practical wisdom, shows that ethics isn't a fixed set of rules but a habit that develops through living. By reflecting on our actions and learning from both success and failure, we nurture virtues like honesty, courage, and compassion, responsibility, and integrity. Growth in this area involves an ongoing commitment to act justly, even when it means challenging social norms or our own preconceptions. It's true. Personally, I wish middle or high school had an intro to psychology. It's really nice curriculum. My school had one and it helped me with a lot of situations. I agree. Certified Giggle Dog. This kind of teaching generally, right? We kind of get told what they want us to know. You know, I'm as conspiracy theorist as the next person when it comes to our education system and what it was made for. And we now live in a time where people at least acknowledge, yeah, the school system as it is right now was designed to make factory workers. And factory jobs as we know them are going away rapidly. So it's true, right? Maybe the future we're heading into, we'll get to make decisions like that for our kids at the very least, getting to teach them the good stuff. Like virtue cultivation by reflecting on our actions. Yeah, but again, it takes them time, right? We get to give them the reflections we've come to, and hopefully some of that knowledge stays as they face the reality themselves. The responsibility of integration, yeah, the responsibility and integrity that is necessary. Growth in this area, even when it means challenging society. Yeah, acting justly. We live in interesting times, right? Where there is this dichotomy of actions and what is just and what is not just is very much amplified by levers of media to the point where the amount of like screaming has me turning down the volume to the point where I'm no longer absorbing any valuable information. And I am coming to the point of challenging societal norms and my own preconceptions. As we do, growing morally and ethically. Is that Muskan? Hey, nice seeing your name here, friend. Bless ya. One of the classes that helped me a lot in high school was an Eastern literature class. It's where I first found out about Buddhism. Nice. Did I find out about Buddhism in school? No, I found out about Buddhism and Hindu philosophy by YouTube. Alan Watts was like one of my OG teachers. Like that dude brought to the Western world that was my mind a whole different perspective. Spirituality and existential enrichment. Existential enrichment. You've heard about existential crisis. Now get ready for existential enrichment. Search for meaning. Yeah, do it. Across cultures, from Buddhism of early Christian texts, humans have pursued inner transformation and deeper connection with the transcendent. This dimension is about the evolution of self beyond the material world, embracing the synchronicity. Yeah, the universe listens, bro. Universe is right here with us. So, the mystery of existence. Is existence a mystery to me? I don't know if it is. I feel like this is like something I probably shouldn't say out loud. The universe be like, oh yeah, all mysterious, you bro. Like for me, the universe hasn't been that mysterious. Right? If I had to look at what the universe is showing me, right? The universe wants me to have like a big giddy smile on my face, right? Even if that smile is like a smirk of, fine, fine, that was kind of funny. Even though it hurts and I don't really want to laugh at it, still fine kind of smiles. Right? But not really mystery. Mystery, at least to me, is like, as an experience. Who knows? Maybe it's just a matter of perspective. Muskan saying, what should I do? I can't let him go. It's extremely painful to watch him marry someone else. It's pathetic. I'm helpless. I don't really want to reinforce any of those beliefs. You are not pathetic, and you are definitely not helpless. I'm here to help. Here I am, helping. Suddenly, the bright spotlight. I'm sweating. Love is true, friend. The love you have for that person is still true, right? You not wanting them to marry someone else. But again, right, them marrying someone else is their imperative. Like, there is a certain level of control we have and don't have over our reality, right? And the control we do have is over our reality, our perceptions, our actions, right? We can't necessarily control who we love, but we can control what we do going forward. And letting that person, if you really do love them, really, right, you should want them to be happy. Otherwise, it's not love, then it might just be lust. Or worst yet, might just be you imagining, you imagining this world. And then you think you're losing that world, that imagined world, by losing that person. That's the biggest one, right? I was like, oh no, I was gonna be so happy. You tell yourself, I was gonna, like, this is gonna be the person that's gonna make me so happy, and then my life was gonna be so great, and now suddenly everything is gonna be bad. Right? That's the lie we tell ourselves. And if I can help you in any way, it's trying to steer you from not believing those things. People smile usually when they've done something that they like. I guess. But I have sat down and done nothing at all and still found myself smiling. Oh, Zhao, sending love as well, saying, Muskan, you're not alone, friend. You're not helpless. You will be helpful when you tell your story to those who can relate, going through the same thing that you are. All of your pain gives you perspective to help another. Keep showing up, Muskan. You got this. Transcendence and self-reflection might be what's necessary in moments like these. Whether through contemplative practices or the life-altering experience many modern philosophers describe as transformative, this growth, this growth, this growth nurtures our ability to see beyond the mundane and touch the eternal. That sentence, that whole paragraph is saying it like, yo, come on, just grow spiritually and enrich yourself existentially, and then transform and have, as modern philosophizers describe, that's life altering, and then nurture your ability to see beyond the mundane and touch the eternal. Just do that. It's a way in which we can grow. I should remind myself, but I don't know. Like, the way it's registering in this moment feels kind of like, yes, easy po easy. Just let's do it. Health, body, mind, and soul. It's nice Seeing your comments here, friend. I'm going to absorb yours too. Astonishingly grateful to be present in this moment of our conscious human evolution. Sending every one of you amazingly inspiring, loving, heartfelt, beautifully natured people in this space, infinite lovings and wholehearted gratitude. Mel, Jovan, Nancy, Kristen, Dream, Mr. Merck, Nabar, Giggle, Lady R, Muskan. Healthy body, mind, and soul. I like your name. Me too. It's Clint. It's Clint. Jeebs. Jeebnibs. Jeebriki Joob Joobs. Jam. Bro, Clint. We actually talked about you not too long ago. Like literally less than a month. We talked about you. Shannon joined us out of the ether for a while there. And then when she was here, we were talking about all of the friends we had missed. And then she asked in that moment about you and how the last time we properly communicated, you were getting better. And here we are, present. I like your name also, Joe. Joe Bob Beep Bob. So much love. What a pleasure it is to be here with you too. We're talking about all of the ways in which we grow, and I'm sure you grew in so many ways as well. Societal, I wanted to say. Brother Bear, love is true. Social and relational development. Clint, dude, I was just about to say, after reading that comment, you feel so very familiar. Yeah, I did feel like someone who has been here, right? I was also like, I see new name, but this person was probably lurking for the last 5 years or something. And now they're saying something again. Like there were so many beats. Social and relational development. Interpersonal connections. Growth happens when we learn to understand and empathize with others. Confucian ideas of self cultivation remind us that our character is shaped in relation to our community. You! Confucius. Damn, bro. I need to listen more to Confucian ideas, I feel. Confucian ideas of self cultivation remind us that our character is shaped in relation to our community. You friends have shaped my character. Literally, like Aksha Marie, like really illy. And I thank you, friends, for helping me grow. That is today's stream topic. Hope you're well, friend. Thank you, Xiao. We do. I trust you are, bro. Do let us know if there's anything you'd like to share, especially as it relates to your growth. Collaboration and communication. Yeah, collaboration and communication. Whether it is building lasting friendships, nurturing a family, or engaging in civic dialogue, our capacity to relate and connect is a cornerstone of human evolution. It's true. That's why this space is so important. I recently saw a Reddit post of a kid, like M19, male 19, a 19-year-old dude somewhere in the world typing on Ask Reddit. If I was willing to dedicate the next 10,000 hours into learning how to do something that's going to be a valuable skill in my life, what should I dedicate that 10,000 hours to? And of course, I'm interested, I like skills that are important. And the very first skill with the most upvotes is learn how to talk. Learn how to talk to people. And it just like hit me like a brick train. It's like, I am learning how to talk to you right now. We've spent an hour of learning how to talk. Even if I'm not talking to a person directly, there is still this learning how to talk in some capacity. And again, the cornerstone of human evolution is our ability to collaborate and communicate. Yes, plug through in the temple bowl. Yes, indeed. Communications, right? Create from epic poetry of Homer to Renaissance masterpieces. Creative expression is a powerful way to explore and communicate the human experience. I'm kind of like doing a rundown of these last points now, just to get them up and absorbed, and then I'm gonna finish this vertical stream. Innovation in expression. Growth here means embracing our ability to create beauty and meaning, whether through art, music, literature, or everyday acts of inventiveness. Practical and professional mastery. Skill acquisition and expertise. We just talked about that too. Learning new skills, refining existing ones, and adapting the changing technologies are forms of growth that fuel personal and societal progress. Leadership and problem solving. Our ability to innovate in professional and community settings reflect an ongoing process of personal development that combine intellect, empathy, and vision. And then the last point for us to consider is our cultural. I just had to open my mouth, plug through in a temple bowl for my birthday. He's happy to. Just had to open my mouth. Suddenly, a temple bowl is something to my mind. Huzzah! May you have a beautiful birthday. Right? It's still your birthday. It's your birthday this whole week. And I think the longer you live, the longer your birthday is. That's totally how it works. You get to have like at least, let's say, I want to say a day of celebration for every year that you've lived. You get to feel good about yourself for having continued existing, right? So at 100 years old, you have like basically 3 months to celebrate yourself. At 365 years old, you're celebrating yourself every day. Maybe when I'm that old, I'll change the rules. Cultural and collective evolution. Engaging with tradition and innovation, drawing on ancient literature such as the works of Confucius or the dialogues of Plato, alongside modern theories like integral theory, we see that growth is both individual and collective. Societal transformation evolves, so too does our culture. This evolution is a dialogue between tradition and modernity, a continuous reimagining of who we are and who we are becoming. Laughs. Yeah. Now I understand, bro. A temple ball. By mapping out these diverse dimensions: physical, cognitive, emotional, moral, spiritual, social, creative, practical, and cultural, we open up a rich toolkit for self development, recognizing that each facet is interconnected, encourages us to seek balance and interconnection with the intentionality in our pursuit of growth. Embracing the idea that we all want to evolve, we become empowered to choose the paths that resonate most with our deepest values and aspirations. After all, the more ways we acknowledge for growth, after all, the more ways we acknowledge for growth, the more resources we have to become truly our best selves. Yeah. Thank you, friends, for becoming a little bit better of a self with me today. I'll show you yesterday's flower. It got three. It got some three. Absorbings. Yeah. Yeah. I open a portal and close it again. This poem was about pain. Yesterday was like a peak after not sleeping properly. Oh, Zhao, with the heart eyes, seeing the arts. You'll make me blush. I love you. When pain crashes the party, this poem is called. Pain shows up uninvited. That clumsy guest who barges in yelling, I'm here. But you, the host, already know the drill. You learn early on that truth. You're not defined by these unplanned visits. Every bruise, every sigh is just a quirky note in the wild jam session of life. So when pain knocks, you throw on your brightest smile, cue the funky beat of resilience, and if it insists, invite it to a brief, awkward dance before showing it the door. Because deep down you know you're the star of this party, writing the script, turning missteps into a playful groove, and proving that no matter how loud pain tries to be, your own rhythm is always in charge. The beat in our minds, the beat that is our hearts, the fight that is our continued existence, despite the pain that might come with it. It can be painful, just simply existing. Some people find it very painful, especially these days, as uncomfortable as things get, as uncertain as our futures look, the pain of discomfort arises more. It is a pleasure showing up with your friends in moments like these, getting to make the commitment with your friends to show up continuously, being supported by you to do so, getting to love you. Same to you, Joe, Melt and friends, and thank you for the love. I'm pleased to say I'm doing much better with health and life in general. Such an intensely warm, familiar feeling being in y'all's presence. That's why we do it. That's why we do it, Clint. That's why I never plan on stopping. Thank you for being here with us for this moment. For me to be able to share some of this good energy with you, it really is such an honor to be able to give this love to you friends all across the world. I promise I won't stop. Even if pain and discomfort tries to get me to, I'll fight that pain. I'll kick the teeth in of discomfort. I love those kinds of friendships where you pick up right where you left off, right? Those are the real ones, yo. Those are the real ones. Those are the ones you're looking for. I love your friends. Thank you for finding me. I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye for now.